your support of Babylon 5. Such an incredible show to work on, such an amazing crew, amazing cast, and it's exciting to see that it's caught on in other countries and other people, other languages even. And it's just fabulous to be here. I'm going to ask a lot of people to start asking questions whenever you'd like to, but first of all, I wanted to say that perhaps, am I too loud here? Is it too loud? Okay. I wanted to tell you that you may have noticed a slight softening of my character this season. We like to refer to it as Ivanova Light. It's half the calories and twice the fun. I'm having a really good time exploring the sense of humor and the less militaristic side of her. However, I think probably next season we may go back to, you know, a happy combination of the two. I'd like to get your feedback on what you think. So, let's start with the questions. Oh, come on now, you're not shy here, are you? Yes, ma'am. Well, maybe she's just dumb. She doesn't get it. No, no, I would say that the reason is because a lot of fans were telling me to let my hair down in the I'm sorry, yes, you're absolutely right. This sort of is, no, it's just between me and her. Excuse me, you'll get your turn now. No, she asked why when things are seeming to go bad in Babylon 5 would all of a sudden Ivanova lighten up a little. This is basically the story. In the first season, Ivanova was the new kid in the block. It was like being the new kid at school. She hadn't been there, obviously I was not in the pilot, as you all know, so she was new on the station and I think that she had to get comfortable. And just like when you're new in school, after a certain period of time, you start to make friends, you wave at people in the hallways and you don't feel like a geek anymore and you sort of, your true personality comes out. And I think that's what happened to her, she's just sort of relaxing into her thing. And that was the question. All right. I can barely see you, yes?
You mentioned the third season. Does that mean it's definitely going to go ahead for the third season?
Did I say that? We have an unofficial pickup, which is excellent news. But it's, you know. Of course, if those 4 little official people over at certain stations around the country say no, then I'll be feeling like a big jerk right now. No, but it's very good. Very good sign. The unofficial pickup that came. Yeah. Yes, over there. Let me tell you something. Sex with a Lumati is like nothing you've ever experienced before. Actually, I'm still reeling from the whole thing because I just can't find a human being that satisfies me anymore. He asks about the sex with the Lumati. That was kind of an interesting experience because I had said to Joe, stupidly, Joe, Mr. Straczynski, as I call him, would you mind, you know, writing me something humorous? Because I really do enjoy, you know, a sense of humor. I'd like to lighten her up a little bit. And Joe said, you know, like he's got nothing better to do, right? So, anyway, this scene came up, and the first thing I read is, boom, shaka-laka laka. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, you can either look really stupid or really stupid. You get a choice. So basically in those sort of situations, you just kind of have to go for it and you just have to plunge in. Because if you do it halfway, unfortunately, you're going to look like you look like a fool. So this way I just looked like a fool as if I didn't know I looked like a fool. But it was fun. Boom, shaka-laka-laka. Thanks, Joe. Love you. Anyway, next question. Right up front. What was the gift the Lumati gave me? Let me put it this way. Customs on the way in here, confiscated it. Okay? Not allowed in your country. It was my take on it was that it was a highly unusual sexual device. That was my take. But for all I know, it could have been a Lumati frisbee. I mean, I don't know. They don't tell me anything. I just react in horror because to me it looked pretty painful. It's very painful, yeah. It actually, yeah. I I never figured it out, but then again, I failed sex education in 8th grade, so what do I know? Any questions over here on this side? The quiet people. Yes, ma'am. How am I going to get out of it when I have to do it his way? God, I hope he doesn't write that episode. Please, Joe, I'll behave myself. No, I won't. Actually, I think with a lot of talking, I think Ivana was probably good at beating around the bush a lot, so to speak. Come on, people. You paid good money to come here. Ask away. Yes.
What? How did I get the part?
How did I get the part for... Is that what... How did I get the part? I paid a huge amount of money to work on Babylon 5. Actually, no. I really wasn't very familiar with the science fiction genre, and they sent me 3 scripts that Joe had written, the first 3 episodes. And at first I was, of course, balking, saying, you know, I have done television series, you know, you get stuck with people you don't like, and you spend a year of your life playing some character that doesn't go anywhere. And then after I read the first 3 scripts, I was really intrigued. And I auditioned, and they called me back that afternoon, and I got the part. It was nothing dramatic. It wasn't like a big, you know, I guess they liked me. I don't know. It must have been something I said, but it wasn't the normal process of going up to the network and testing, and then waiting 3 days, and then going to another network because it's a syndicated show, I suppose, and also because I guess they wanted to just get on with it. I don't know. You can ask that to Joe. I'm not really sure why it happened so quickly, but I was grateful, believe me. Being strung along is not fun, as we all know. Yes. Right there up front. What? My favorite episode. I have 2 favorites. I would say that the one where with the Drazi, the purple, green Drazi. Purple Drazi. No, I know you're purple! What's the point, you know? I enjoyed that because in real life I did break my foot. And they had to find some way, Joe had to find some way to write that in, because otherwise it would have been, I'm coming, Commandant, you know, would not have looked very good. So there had to be some way to explain the foot, and I think he came up with a very ingenious solution to the whole thing. That episode, and of course, in the first season, I really enjoyed working with Theodore Bickel in the episode where I was, you know, sitting Shiva, and there was a moment for me to be vulnerable and show that I can cry. You know, that sort of thing, kind of use those tools. So those are my two favorites. Yes, sir. What? Who does Ivanova prefer, Sinclair or Sheridan, huh? I've never had either one, so... If you mean who do I like better, who do I like to work with better, I actually have a high regard for both gentlemen. They bring completely different things to the character. I prefer, of course, this season because I'm the commander now. So, you know, now that I have a captain, I got a raise, so it's great. I got a promotion. But I think that Bruce brings a wonderful levity and a certain... he loses his temper a lot, which I think is very human. You know, not everybody's always Mr. Perfect, you know, nothing phases me. And he's like, wait a minute! You know? And I like that. I like that sort of spontaneous combustion. And I think that we work nicely together. And I like both guys. I wish Michael all the best luck in the world.
Claudia, just before you go on, there's mic points at both sides of the stage, right and left highlighted by spotlights. Can you see them?
There's microphones on both sides of the
Microphones. There's a gentleman over there, an alien over there. There's actually a spotlight. Can you see him? He's got a microphone just in front of him. And there's 2 microphone points. Yeah.
Hello! Jet lag hits. Boom. She's gone. Sorry about that, darling. Go on. Yes, sir.
Welcome to Britain.
Thank you very, it's absolutely fabulous here, darling. I love it. Sweetie, darling. I love this place. Yes.
Bearing in mind that the majority of the command and security personnel are male, do you still have difficulty in controlling them despite your aggressive nature?
I don't have any difficulty controlling any man, darling.
Have you tried a naan yet?
Had it, done it, worn the t-shirt. No, actually, in spite of Jakar's codpiece, I have not actually had any. I don't really have a problem. I think that hopefully sexism in the future is going to be slightly less than it is, less obvious than it is now. I seem to have no problem with the physicality of the role and, you know, the fight scenes. I wish there were more. I'd like to kick some Minbari, but no, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. We like the Minbaris. No, I don't think I have any problem with the with controlling, even though most of the staff is men. I mean, it seems like we've gone beyond the stereotypical male-female roles. I don't try and be more masculine. I'm just a strong woman that's been in the military for a while. So, yeah. Then on the other hand, I'm not afraid to show them that I can cry or that I laugh at stupid places or, you know, all those things. Hopefully in the future, men and women will be more equal. Like I already think they are. Anybody want to step up to the mic? That was kind of exciting, wasn't it? Huh? Okay, you're all shy. Yes, ma'am. Right. Well, lieutenant commander, which I was in the first season, the next step up from there is commander. So when the captain came on board, obviously there was no commander. I was running the station already for the time between Sinclair and Sheridan. So he felt that I earned that, and then once I was, you know, given more diplomatic jobs. Oh, did you guys hear the question? Sorry, there I go again. She asked that why, you know, from what is the rating system? So he was lieutenant commander, commander, and then being the captain is obviously, you know, captain of the station or captain of a starship. That's the highest you can go. Am I right, Joe? Thanks. Nice talking to you. I guess you'll be explaining that question later. I did it again. Mr. Straczynski will be answering that question in all of its full. Yes, sir.
Hello, Claudia. It's good to see you here. What's it like to have people like Walter Koenig and Bill Murray from other TV shows, science fiction shows, working on B5?
I'm getting an incredible amount of feedback now. There we go, thank you. For me personally, I got to, I haven't worked much with Bill Murray, but he's a lovely guy, and it's interesting to talk to him because, of course, he did Lost in Space, and, you know, it's sort of like the icon of science fiction, and I used to, when I was a kid, I used to watch it. Walter Koenig, I had a chance to work with, and because of his character, I always sort of, he's not really a method actor, but he's very intense when he works, and because obviously I have a deep hatred of the Psych Corps, and he's a psych op, you know, when he walks on set, we sort of do one of these things. Yeah, you know. For me, I'm normally, you know, very gregarious towards the people when they work on the show, and Walter just seems to sort of give me the evil eye, you know, which it helps him get into character. And then between the breaks and stuff, we talk. He's a lovely guy, really nice man, and I think I think it adds a lot of color to our show to bring back these people, these wonderful actors that have been involved in science fiction for so many years and have, you know, given so much. I think it's kind of ironic, too, when you have somebody from Star Trek on Babylon 5. I think it gives something to the fans to say, you know, this is cool. Whoa. You know, I hope that answered your question. Thank you. Thanks for the flower. That's great. Thank you. Yes?
Speak up.
How do you feel? You think it's okay that people are keen on Babylon 5 and keen on starting at the same time? Do you think it's okay?
Do I feel like I'm being two-timed? Is that what you mean? It's horrible. He's a Trekkie. I don't know what to do. I mean, I really like him, but he likes Star Trek. And Kate Mulgrew, too. No. I promised myself I wasn't going to do that, but I sucked some helium earlier and it just came up. I think it's wonderful. Science fiction, I mean, there's a giant universe out there. There's room for everybody. I mean, you know, that's the irony of Babylon 5 is for so many years, I believe, they kept hitting up against what took Joe 8 years to get this show on, and people were saying, well, there's already one. Oh, well, like, what, are there 10,000 sitcoms? I mean, there can't be 2 science fiction series, or 3 or 4. You know, I think that people are now understanding that science fiction is such a largely appreciated genre that you don't necessarily have to just have, you know, this icon that's lasted 25 years. Besides that, because our story has a beginning, a middle, and an end, because it's a 5-year thing, it's unlike the ongoing saga of the Enterprise, which just never seems to die, you know. We have this, you know, nice story plotted out, so. I don't find it offensive at all. However, any of you that are really more fond of Star Trek can leave right now, thank you. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I'm kidding. I know, our show's good, all right? Yes, ma'am. Have I ever written any science fiction? Read. Actually, like I said, I wasn't that accustomed to the genre, but I have now begun to educate myself, and I've read some John Varley, and I'm sorry, I didn't forget about you over there. No, stay there. Read some John Varley, and of course, as a kid, I read, you know, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, if that's considered in the genre. So I'm starting, you know, I'm getting there. I just learned how to turn my power book off, and you know, I know how to do my VCR. I'm getting to the stage that, you know, I'm pretty comfortable in the 21st century, or will be. Yes, sir.
Is this thing on? Yeah, that's better.
No.
Whoa. You were talking about Trek earlier on, and I've got to admit that I've been a Trekkie for many years, but I've never been to a Trek convention, and I'm here, so I think that says a lot about Babylon 5.
Thank you.
There was a question earlier on about the 3rd season, and I think most of us here feel that Babylon 5 has got the potential to at least outlive Star Trek from what we've seen so far.
Thank you. He's a good man over there.
And you also have skirted with sci-fi in the past for your part in The Hidden, if you remember.
Skirt is the key word there.
Yeah. My main question was that there was an earlier point on Michael O'Hare, and you said you wished him all the best in the future. In some of the earlier episodes, like Babylon Squared, it was hinted that he would have to play a key role in the fights in the Great War in the future. And I myself, and I'm sure others here, are quite concerned that he, although appearing on videotape in the 2nd series so far, doesn't appear to have much of a future as far as the, I think it's not so much the writers, but the producers and the people at Warner Brothers. I don't really see, now that Bruce Boxleitner has really sort of established himself, that there isn't a place for both Bruce and Michael O'Hare in the future seasons of Babylon 5, and would hope that Michael would come back to play a key role in the future of the series. Do you have any views on that?
Well, as far as I know, and I'm not pulling the wool over your eyes, but I don't know anything as far as the future goes. I literally get the script the week before, read them, and that's it. But I have heard that Michael will be back next season, in whatever context, whatever that happens. And, you know, I believe it'll be, you know, I've heard that he's going to make an appearance of some sort, and I think that's great. You know, I think it's wonderful.
Perhaps it's a question that Joe could answer with a bit more.
Bit more detail?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do that very well, did I?
No.
Let me try again. No. Once upon a time, there was. You know, when I was 4, I think Joe would be able to answer that, because I mean, and I'm being completely sincere when I say this. They don't tell me jack. You know, I basically, you know, I try to say, as long as I'm not in a coma at the end of the cliffhanger every season, I'm saying, okay, things are fine, great. You know, no more questions, thanks, fine. You know. So I think you should probably repeat that question to Mr. Straczynski when he comes up here. Yeah.
I would say that I think Bruce has fitted in very well into the series.
Thank
so
you.
I'm not taking anything from him.
Yeah, no, I think he's done a lovely job, and it's a hard thing to do, to take over somebody's, you know, the commander of a station when fans have already, you know, ingrained themselves, and especially science fiction fans are very loyal. So I think that he's done a hell of a job, and he hasn't gotten, you know, a tremendous amount of support. I mean, he's gotten a lot of hate letters, and I think that's really unfair. I think that people should be supportive of anybody that takes on the job, because it's something that he loves. I mean, he off duty, Bruce Boxleitner walks around in the Babylon 5 jacket, the Babylon 5 hat, you know, he's like, yeah, he loves the show. He comes to work in the morning, and he's excited to be there, and I think that right there, you've got a hell of a man.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir. If I can just see through the Loch Ness mist, I can see you.
Welcome to the United Kingdom.
Thank you.
The question I wanted to ask is, do you have an email address?
I was just going to say something. No, I'm going to get one though. I really, what's an email address? Yeah, right back at you. No, I do plan on getting one this year. As soon as Joe teaches me how to turn the power book back on again, then I'll be, you know, being able to get a little bit further ahead at this point. But yeah, when I get one, I'll get it published, or I'll have Joe send it out on the America Online. Okay? You guys can send me all sorts of horrible letters. Excuse me, Miss Christian. In episode 4. When you push the button for the Blowsing Freighter in Dock H, why didn't you push the same button that you did in the Piraeus? And then, stop it! Stop rewinding and pushing pause. Just watch it from beginning, middle, and end, okay? That's all I ask. Because when I'm doing it, I'm just acting, okay? There's no buttons there, pal, okay? That's the funniest thing, is I always think to myself as I'm doing this kind of number and, you know, bringing in the Piraeus and things, lights are flashing, I think, oh my God, did I do that in episode 6 the same way? Because I know somebody's going to catch it. You guys are very devoted. All right. I see somebody vaguely over there. Yes, whoever it is, stand up, speak.
Let there be late.
What?
Am I going to get laid over here, anyone?
What? What? Oh, you don't have a light.
A light?
Let there be light.
Let there be light.
Lord, say that, let there be light. I'll just go ahead and talk.
Right. I was just wondering if we're going to hear anything more about the Rangers. Sinclair night, you know.
The Rangers?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I hear that, Joe, may I say? Can I give him a hint about one in particular? Okay. Vonnegut's finally going to get some next season. I believe that I'm going to have a relationship with a Ranger next season. That sort of has something to do with the Rangers. So yeah, I think that we'll be working much more heavily with the Rangers. Joe can answer that a lot better than I am, since I don't get any Bible sort of thing for the show. But I know that I myself take a very strong interest, since I know that I'm finally going to get a love interest, which is nice to hear. So that's refreshing.
Female ranger.
Cheers.
Is it going to be a female Ranger? Well, of course it's going to be a female Ranger. What kind of, no, I assume it's a male Ranger, but well, there's something this season that'll satisfy you. Don't worry about it, honey. Yes, next question. You haven't seen that episode yet. Hello?
Hello and welcome.
Thank you.
What do you think of the uniforms and other outfits you get to wear?
The outfits and the uniforms that I get to wear, frankly, I had a little, you know, dissatisfaction in the beginning, just because it, you know, didn't fit right. You know, I always felt like my body looked like a lollipop man. I don't know. Something was odd about it. But they refit them, and this season they're much better. And then on my downtime for a while there, I was beginning to feel like Mama Cass, because everything was this sort of long moo-moo thing, and, you know, sort of ethnic long thing. So now they've got more form-fitting things, and I'm very grateful that it's not the sort of, you know, cellophane wrapping outfits that they were in the other shows, because that's just a bit much for me, and I'd like to look a little bit more, you know, militaristic, you know. But I've been pretty happy with them, and like I said, things are changing, and next season it's going to be different too. We're going to get a little more. I guess I shouldn't give that away, but, well, let's just say that we're going to get another outfit joke and elaborate on that if you'd like to. I have to be very careful because he punishes me afterwards. You don't understand. Why did you say that? You know. But he'll elaborate. I'm sure he will. He's good at elaboration. Yes. That's it? Nobody else? I can't see it. Oh, there.
Actually want to achieve when you started becoming actors? And secondly, when you took on the part of babylon5, what you expected that convention as part of the deal, and do you enjoy that scene?
Let me answer the second question first. I did not know that conventions existed. And I'm thrilled to do them because, first of all, I think that they give the fans an opportunity to actually see you in person and to meet you and to ask all the questions that maybe don't get answered on the computer services and so forth. And I think that it's something to give back. I think that if somebody is that loyal and excited about the show, the least you can do is get up and answer some questions and sign some autographs. I mean, it's not that difficult, folks. You know, it's part of the job, and I think it's a great part of the job. I enjoy it. It makes you excited about your job again. You know, it makes you realize that there's people out there, all the way out here, that care for the show, and I think that's wonderful. In answer to the first part of your question, what did I expect from becoming an actress? I didn't expect anything. I just had no choice. I sort of came out of the womb going, Hollywood! I mean, it was just, I was, you know, ask my mom, she's here. Hi, Mom. Anyway, no, it was, I just didn't have much choice in the matter. I was basically born, and from the moments I was cognitive, wanted to be an actress. I mean, just, that was, you know, I just wanted to entertain, wanted to make people laugh or cry or whatever the corny things that actors say, but that's exactly what happened to me. It was very simple. I love to entertain. Yes?
Are you anything like your character?
Oh yeah, I'm an uptight, no. Actually, there are a lot of qualities, good questions. There's a lot of qualities of Ivanova that I definitely find in myself. Of course, the discipline, the way that she's usually in control of her feelings and yet vulnerable and caring towards people. I mean, I find that I'm normally the Dear Abby and my friends. I'm always taking on the advice and saying, okay, well, what you should do is, you know, I let people into my life very easily and deeply, and I think that that's, you know, that's a quality that Ivanova has, or is now just beginning to explore. I mean, she lost her whole family. I think she's a little gun-shy about close relationships right now. But I'm not as militaristic, obviously, and I'm not quite as professional in my attitude when I'm meeting regular people like you folks. You know, I don't think Ivana would go, hey! You know, that's not her. Does that answer your question? Good. It's nice to see kids here. It's great. Hi.
Hi. In the film, in doing your films, how difficult is it to keep the continuity? I mean, a stage play, you can run scene through scene, and it's got a beginning, a middle, and an end. But in filming, I would assume it's a question of doing one set at a time. How do you keep the continuity for each program, each episode going?
Well, first of all, a script supervisor keeps the continuity as far as each individual shot is concerned. For instance, if I'm taking a sip of something and it's, you know, two-shot and I take a sip on this word, on the word this, well then she's got to write that down, and then next time when we get to the master I've got to remember, okay, she reminds me, take a sip on this, you know. Then of course your acting kind of goes out the window because all you're concerned about is this, oh, sip. You know? Yeah. So that's the continuity as far as that goes. As far as the individual episodes go, we shoot everything out of order. I mean, usually the first day is the observation dome, which we call observation hell, because, you know, that's all the techno-babble for me. That's the stuff, the dark ancient brown seas under this and the boom, ba boom, ba boom. You know, that gets a little claustrophobic. We have the whole crew in the observation dome, and it's very limiting, and you don't have a lot of movement, and it's very intense, and we try and get all of the dome stuff shot in one day. After that, which of course will be out of sequence. I mean, there's you start with one scene that's in the beginning of the episode, and the next scene you do is the end when everybody's dead. You're like, ha! Oh. You know, you're constantly changing emotions. So in that sense, continuity as an actor is just to to remind yourself what just came prior. That's the most important thing. And I'll turn to the director who has a script standing in front of him and say, what did I just say in the scene before? Just so I can, get back into it. But the other job is for the script supervisor. Does that answer your question? Terrific. God, I'm good. I'm trying. Okay. Yes. Am I allowed to tell if Ivanova has latent telepathic abilities? Joe? No. I don't know a thing. I just work here. That's my pat response. I don't write them. No. Anyway, next.
I don't believe it. She stole my question.
Oh, you can think of another one.
Okay, if you could be any of the species on Babylon 5, what would you be?
Jakar. I love Jakar. I love it. If I had to be a species, actually, I rather enjoyed the Lumati. I probably wouldn't make a very good Minbari because they're very internal. I'd probably be a great Centauri because I love to just chew up this stuff, life, the stuff that's called life. I think Centauri would be for me. But I don't know. There's a lot of other ones. I mean, actually, I really like the guys with the Joe. With the orange blossom, the bald guy. What? Yeah, those. All right, so I forgot. Okay, there's a lot of things to remember, all right? Yeah, those guys. Techno Rangers, that would be interesting. Besides, I like those bald heads and the black outfits. Yes?
Hello, I came all the way from Germany to see you.
Oh my God. Meine Mutter ist aus Deutschland, aus Bonn.
Oh, I'm from Kiel.
From Kiel, aus Kiel, Mama. Okay.
And I'd like to know about your idols in terms of acting on the movies.
Well, first of all, thanks for coming all the way from Germany. And second of all, my idols in the movies, I kind of tend to veer towards the Barbara Stanwicks and the Katharine Hepburns and the old style of acting. When ladies were grand and they dressed up, and I love all the vixen ladies of the 40s, the sort of fast talking. What do you mean by that? I love the old comedies, The Thin Man and things like that. As far as actors go, I love Robin Williams. I just think he's unbelievable. I just think he's amazing. That's probably my favorite male actor. I love all the comics, obviously. I love Steve Martin. And anybody that's really good with both their body and their ability to play a character. Physical comedy is so difficult. I think Robert Downey Jr. is pretty darn good after I saw Chaplin. I was very impressed by that. And of course, let's think of Romy Schneider. There you go.
I know her.
You do?
Yeah.
All right, so does that answer your question?
Okay, thanks.
More? You came all the way from Germany, pal. You get 2 questions.
I can't, not at the moment.
All right, well, later. Yes. I can't see, so if I'm ignoring anybody in the back, just yell.
What's your ideal day?
My idea of what?
What would be your ideal day?
My ideal day? The rated PG version? My ideal day would be, oh gosh, if I had the financial facilities, I would probably love to spend the day going to a museum and buying up antiques and eating in a fabulous restaurant and maybe reading a good book and having a nice glass of red wine, and a big cigar. No. I love to travel, and I love to collect things. I think a perfect day on a Sunday in Los Angeles for me is to have a big pot of tea in the Sunday Times and listen to classical music and maybe see some friends in the afternoon. I don't see a lot of movies or anything like that, though I'm starting to do that now, and that's actually kind of fun, I'm noticing. And I do like to do, once in a while, crazy things, like jump out of an airplane or go go-kart racing and you know, that's a perfect Saturday thing to do, because then Sunday you're recovering with a pot of tea in the newspaper. Does that answer your question at all? I like to have one really active day during the weekend and then one day to completely relax and read. I love to read. All right. Hello?
Hello. When Babylon 5 finishes, what would you like your next role to be?
Something paying would be nice. Actually, when I get back to Los Angeles, I'm going to be publicizing a CD-ROM game that I starred in called Titan. So I have to do publicity for that. And then I'm going to start thinking of my next job. What I'd like, ideally, is to do something... I don't know if I want to get into a play right now, because it's a tremendous amount of work, and I'd like to have my weekends free. But my next role, I would love to be comedic, you know, just to have a change of pace, or some really heavy-duty drama that I can sink my teeth into. Something that's you know, rips your guts out for a month, and then you go, wow, that was heavy. I think that's what I would probably, something, one extreme or the other, because I've been playing Ivanova for 2 years now, and on my breaks I like to do something that's completely different. Last year I got to do a little part in The Chase with Charlie Sheen, which was over the top, you know. But that wasn't really satisfying, because it was only a couple days work. So I'd like something to really sink my teeth into. I got a couple things in the burner, but I can't really talk about them, because then you jinx them, you know what I mean? All right.
What's your favourite science fiction series? Apart from Babylon 5, that is.
Oh, okay. I'm just leaving.
All right, your second favourite then.
No, I mean, I love, can I do films? I love the Star Wars series of movies. The Star Wars, yeah, I mean, those were, I love the Star Wars series of movies. I think they're incredible. I just, you know, 2001 I loved. I honestly, in spite of the fact that I do a mean, you know, imitation of Kate Mulgrew, I've never watched Voyager. I've seen like 1 second of it, and that was it. And then Deep Space Nine, I've seen 1 scene. I mean, I don't watch the competitors, babe. I'm loyal. You know what I mean? I mean, no, not only that. I just, I don't know. I like our show because it's colorful. It's fun. It's you know, it's got ups and downs, and it's not just sort of, and people speak in American accents for a change. So it's no offense. Nah, that was a joke. All right, it was a joke. Anyway, a joke. I suppose that would be the best answer, the Star Wars movies and most of the epic features that have come out, since I honestly have no recollection of it. I did watch Lost in Space a little bit as a kid, but that's the cartoon version of it. Is that it?
Right, thanks.
You're welcome, darling. Go sit down. Get out of here. What's my favorite show? That's probably Joe Straczynski sending a spy up to test my loyalty. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Claudia.
Hi.
The thing I'd like to know is, why does Ivanova only wear 1 earring?
That 1 earring is, it's in memory of my brother in real life and my brother on the show who passed away. And Ivanova lost hers in the war, her brother. And I lost my brother too. So I wear 1 earring in memory.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Excuse me.
Yes?
How do you cope with reacting?
I beg your pardon?
How do you cope with reacting to generated images that are actually there in reality?
How do I cope with the CGI?
Yeah.
Is that what your question is? Is that his question?
Yeah.
That's the question. How do I cope with the CGI? Horribly, as you can tell from the amount of questions I get about the buttons I push. No, actually, I think it's not as distracting as we joke about it as. I mean, you know, Bruce and I are always saying, we're acting to nothing, you know, it's black. But to me, it's really not that distracting. It's difficult when you're dealing with, as I have in other shows and so forth, holograms that aren't there, or cartoon characters that aren't there. I do a lot of cartoon voices, and that's kind of weird because you haven't seen the image that you're doing the voice for. And it's when you see a physical image, a drawing or anything, you can actually sort of get the voice in there. But instead, they'll just record all the voices, and then later on, you're watching the cartoon going, well, well, if I would have known that she looked like that, I would have changed the voice, you know. So that's a little frustrating. But in Babylon 5, I'm actually, I enjoy it because by the time I end up seeing the episode, they've put in all the CGI and it's just incredible. I mean, this is so impressive to me, and I say, wow, you know, I did that. Now I have nothing to do with that, actually. But it's not distracting. It's frustrating at some point because there's wars going on and things exploding, and you've got the script supervisor in the background going, okay, ship just blew up. You know, okay, yeah, they're all dead. You know, and you're supposed to go, you know, and you know, then what, like Bruce will react 2 seconds later than me, or I'll react 4 seconds later than him, and so you see these people, one going, the other going, you know, so we have to get it timed exactly. It says what they usually do is they go, boom, you know, and then we both get jolted out of our caffeine lack of stupor or whatever. Oh yeah, we're acting. Does that answer your question sufficiently?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
You did in TKO, the one where you were sitting Shiva. Was there much reaction to that in the States?
A tremendous amount. I think people, I think a lot of people were very moved by it, and I got a tremendous amount of fan mail saying that they really liked to see the soft side of Ivanova, the vulnerable side, which I enjoy doing immensely. I mean, I love to, you know, bring out those acting tools any time I can. So it was very fulfilling. And of course, working with somebody like Theodore Backel, you know, is great to have that as your uncle. It was a treat, a real treat.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I got a lot of very positive response from that episode, actually. Have I used up my time, or am I blabbing on here? Somebody give me a hint. What? Hello? Oh, they all left. Am I okay? What? Is there going to be a film in 5 years? I think that's a JMS question, don't you think? I have absolutely no clue, but my services might be available in case that ever occurs. I don't have a clue, actually. I don't know. It would be interesting, but I have no idea. It's not my shot. I'm just an employee. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, welcome.
Welcome.
Can I ask, how did you actually break your foot in Revelations? And the other question I have is about being a role model. And I have a 10-year-old niece, and when she saw that Kate Mulgrew was like the captain, she was ecstatic. So, do you get any fan mail from kids about being from little girls about being a role model?
Absolutely. And remember, I was first, you know. I got my promotion before she even came on the air. No. Yeah, actually, the children are, I think, the most fulfilling part of being on Babylon 5. As far as playing Ivanova, I actually had a little girl come up to me and say, I don't have to be a secretary anymore. I can be the commander. And I was just like, yeah, go girl, you know. Because it's great. I mean, they don't have to be, you know, the person in the background taking the messages and bringing them to the captain. You know, that's usually the female roles in these or the telepaths or the psychics, you know. But I find it a great honor, and it's something that I'd really like to encourage more young girls to think that way. Because it's possible, anything's possible if you put your mind to it. And I think Ivanova's a heck of a role model. I mean, she's top of her class, she's smart, she's young, she's, you know, she's a good person, she's a good friend, and I'm honored to have a little girl look up to her. I'm not embarrassed at all, in spite of the Lumati incident. Okay? What was the first part of your question?
How did you break your foot?
Oh, in real life?
Yeah.
When your beeswax. No,
Sorry.
Actually, no, it was actually, I'm kidding you. I'll tell you anything you want. Well. Let me retract that last statement. Actually, it's a very boring story. I kept telling people, oh, I was taking down this 400-pound marlin, and, you know, no. Okay, I fell off a horse. No, I was skiing. No, I actually was chasing a bird in my backyard. Story of my life, folks. Boring. I was watching the Three Tenors. They had this show on our PBS, and it was so great. And I kind of, you know, it was my 29th birthday, and I thought, well, you know, I feel like I'm 12. What are people worried about aging? I'm 29. This is great. I love being 29. And I went outside and I saw this beautiful bird and I just sort of went, and I took a flying ballet leap and landed and I went, I'm 29! The whole foot crushed, you know? I felt like I was 99. I don't know why, my bones just sort of gave way. And 3 bones broke and my foot was dislocated. It was very, very painful. And that's how it happened. Yeah, so that was my exciting bone-breaking story. I would have liked to say, well, I was jumping out of a plane, saving this kid. Okay, anybody else? Yes. Do I what? Oh, God, do I count myself fortunate? I mean, God bless all those, first of all, the people who do it. A few of them are here today. And second of all, the actors that endure it, because, I mean, I have very limited patience, first of all, for just about anything, waiting in queues or anything like that, and I can't imagine sitting in a chair for 3 hours. And then when you finish work, and you've got that sort of horse looking at the end of the trail feeling, you know, you just want to get in your car and go, you got to sit in the chair for another half an hour to 45 minutes to take the stuff off. Now that's what I would find most frustrating. I would probably be, I'd be a major alcoholic by now if I had to do that. I mean, I just can't sit still. I'm a little hyper, as you can tell. Bouncing off the walls. Yeah, I count myself fortunate. In fact, that was actually one of the prerequisites when I heard it was science fiction. The first thing I said to my agent was, I am not wearing red contacts or a mask. I'm sorry. So the part of Jakar was out of the question. Then they moved on to Ivanova. Yeah. Yes.
Hi. Welcome to England.
Thank you very much.
I'm just thinking you have a really great sense of humour and good delivery and wit. I just wondered, have you ever done any stand-up comedy or anything like that?
Just when I was about 13, I'd stand on stage, and I, at that point, weighed about 85 pounds. I was 5'9", my full height. Had a crew cut, braces, headgear, and I'd just stand on stage and say, I'm a girl. The house would just come down. It was, that was about my extent of my comedy career. I did some comedy musicals, and I've done some sitcoms, and I've done a few comedy movies. Hexed was my most recent one with Columbia. I love comedy. No, I really do. I just love it. And thanks for the compliment. But unfortunately, you know, I haven't really had that great stand-up career because I really never tried. But if anybody wants to write me some material and send it to me, I'd be more than happy to try it out in the LA comedy clubs. Yes.
Have a least favorite episode?
My least favorite episode?
One that you...
Any of them that all I had to do and it was on my way. Those are my favorite, you know, when I'm sitting there during a scene where people are talking for about 9 hours, okay? It's one of these huge speeches and everyone's going, Garibaldi's got a huge... I'm standing in the corner like a ficus tree, and on very end of the scene, I finally go, yes, sir, I'll be right on it. And I leave. Like, why am I there? You know? No, seriously, the least favorite episode? Oh, gosh, I don't know. I think I have a hard times with the ones that in the first season that got really, which I know the fans really love, the really internal kind of mind, when Michael went insane, that whole, I was watching it, I had to, you know, very dark, it's very dark and dreary, and I kind of prefer the ones where, you know, Bruce and Garibaldi are having a conversation in the men's loo. I mean, those episodes just seem little more real to me. But I mean, like I said, most people are just the opposite of me. They prefer the real dark, intense ones. I like the lighter ones where we have interesting guest stars and, you know, some fun.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. My next number? Yes. 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 I see you. You have your hand up. In real life? You know, I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place here because, I mean, they are getting married, but I'm been told not to say anything. Like nobody's gonna know. I mean, you know, she said, don't tell anyone. Well, you're getting married. You know, that's kind of a declaration of love, isn't it? What are you gonna do? Hide the ring? I mean, it's this big, you know? There you have it. Next. What? The question, was there any truth to Jerry and Andrea in real life? You know, I feel kind of foolish saying, no, there's no truth whatsoever, and then you're reading big wedding in Hollywood between, you know, I'm not a liar. Okay, next. What? What? Oh, I'm sorry, hello. What?
You're talking to me?
Oh, yeah, I was...
Well, I couldn't hear myself, yeah.
I can't, no, I was talking to the guy down here. He thought he had his hand up, but I didn't even see you over there. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm big enough.
No.
Anyway, no, when you started in the show, how much background did you get for the character of Ivanova? Did you just get, like, parents killed here, something there, or did you get, like, a full biography of the character? Because you seem to play her as if you know how she would react. It doesn't look like acting, if you know what I mean.
Why, thank you, sir. It just said, Mom, Dad, go act. No, no, it explained that in the bio that I got explained the fact that my brother was killed in the Minbari War, my mother was killed as a result of, I mean, you know, she died from the drugs that were given her from the Psi Corps, and that I had a deep animosity towards the Psi Corps, no joke, and that I was graduated top of the class, and that I was of Russian Jewish descent, and just the basics. But I kind of, then I was told to play her, you know, and it was written a bit militaristic, and as some of the fans said, with a pull up her bum, which really didn't appeal to me. Thank you very much. Got a lot of letters saying that. Thanks. And I think that it just kind of took off from there. I mean, it's not a character that I've ever played before. It's not Claudia, and it's nothing that I can look back in my film history or work and say, oh, yeah, that was similar. It's just something that was organic, and it just grew. And Ivanova was just there all of a sudden, and I can't get rid of her. So that's about it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, who was the guy up here with his hand up? There you go.
How effective does the makeup on the aliens look when you're as close to them as you are when you're acting?
Unbelievable. It's frightening, really. Oh, me? No. I'm sorry, the question was how effective and how realistic is the special effects makeup when you're up close in person working with them? And it is mind-blowing. They are an immensely talented group of people. Optic Nerve and the rest of the people involved with it are just, it's just incredible. I mean, I've done scenes with Andreas where, then you see Andreas Katsoulis, the actor, and you see Jakar, the person, and for the first season, it was very interesting. I never talked to Andreas out of costume. It was like he wasn't there. He'd walk in and I was just like, who's that guy? He keeps looking at me weird, you know? And I mean, because Jakar was just Jakar, and it was partially the actor, partially the costume, and a lot of the special effects makeup. And not only that, even when you're doing a scene where there was recently a Pac Marat standing next to me in a scene, and the mask was moving, and the eyes, the twitches, and it looks completely real. You know, some of them are cute, and some of them are just revolting, and some of them they all look extraordinary in person, really. Yes.
Yes, it's me again.
Herr Schmidt, yeah?
No, Sid.
Sid.
Call me Uwe.
Uwe, okay.
Hi. I had the chance to read the Lurker's Guide to Babylon 5. Perhaps you know it. It's a World Wide Web thing. And I read about the chance that Ivanov was, in the past, has been involved with the Raiders, you know?
Well, that's a JMS question, and then you know what? My time is up, so you can stand there and ask J. Michael Straczynski when he comes up here, because that's a question for him to answer, and I'm getting the old hook. So I want to thank you all very much. I had a wonderful time. I hope that you learned a little bit something while you're here, and I hope I have an opportunity to meet a few of you in person. Okay?